Hi there, I'm Zuco, and this is Apatros Review. Now in this episode we take a look at something from the country Brazil. This is possibly the only time I review something from Brazil on this channel, so don't expect me to cover anything else. There might be one or two things maybe, but I'm not sure about that anyway. So for Brazilians out there, hi. Now in this episode we take a look at something that was made by os Trapalhoes. Os Trapalhoes were a four-man comedy troupe that were extremely popular in Brazil during the run of their children's TV show from the mid-1970s right up until 1993. Consisting of the gang's leader, Didi, played by Renato Aragão, the second-in-command Dede Santana, the black guy, Muslim, and the bloke who has an ugly wig on and talks with a childish accent, Zacharias. Os Trapalhoes, the name roughly translates to the Bunglers, but is usually referred to in English as the Tramps. Usually had the comedy modus operandi of physical slapstick gags, video manipulation tricks such as sped-up action in slow-mo, and repeating certain things over and over again, wacky sounds in the soundtrack, and silly stunts. This effectively made them a reputation as being Brazil's answer to the Three Stooges. In this review, we take a look at Os Trapalhoes na Guerra dos Planetas, translating to English as The Tramps and the Planet Wars. This is Os Trapalhoes' parody of the then massive hit of Star Wars. Shot on videotape, then transferred to film, giving that film a unique bootleg look. The film was surprisingly popular in Brazilian cinemas, even cracking the Brazilian top 10 for that year. And this was in 1978, directed by Adriano Stewart. This was also the very first film to parody Star Wars, which was inevitable enough, but anyone watching this outside Brazil will be having some crisis of being, as what unfolds during the movie proves perplexingly demented, with the jokes often falling flat in the ass, unless you're stone watching this or a small child. The film has something of a bad reputation in English-speaking nation-states, with most critics outside Brazil giving this movie a good kicking. Many Brazilians, however, actually defend this film, claiming that it was meant for children and thus must be judged as such. Having watched the film online with and without English subtitles, I choose to start with the Brazilians on this one. The film's humour is indeed intended for child audiences, although some of the humour does have a mature nature to them. I thought this is probably due to Brazilian children being rather advanced compared to Western kids. Brazil is also the country that spawned the infamous story during the early 2000s of a 13-year-old boy who wanked while surfing porn through the internet browser on his Sega Dreamcast gaming console, only to accidentally shoot his load onto the laser pickup lens inside the console, and while his parents were trying to figure out what the stain was, the kid desperately went onto the internet chat rooms of the day, explaining the situation, asking for a solution, only for his misadventure to spread around the Brazilian internet like wildfire. As such, the physical gags are entertaining in a dumb way that children will appreciate, and there's enough late 1970s weirdness to appeal to stoners, a demographic that I used to hang out with a couple of decades ago. That being said, The Tramps and the Planet Wars isn't a particularly good film on its own merits. The film's pacing is excruciatingly slow, with scenes being dragged out at least 5 minutes longer than needed, and it's clear that most of the film happened to be of an improvised nature. There is also the barest whisper of plot here, so what passes for a story is this. The Tramps, after being forced to spend the night in remote bushland, after escaping a gang trying to kill them because one of the tramps fooled around with a married woman, encounter an alien ship whose occupant, Prince Flick, a bloke who dresses like Luke Skywalker but feels more like Han Solo, requests their help in rescuing his princess and people from an evil despot named Zuco, who basically has an outfit especially helmet that would a little bit too close to Darth Vader. To which the Tramps agree on the condition that they get paid their weight in gold, thus starting off their adventure. And that's basically that for the story. And the visual effects are seriously scraping the bottom of the visual effects barrel, making even the worst CGI effects in the typical asylum mockbuster look reasonable. Being a 1970s production, there is an opportunity for some disco dancing in this, which is rather ghastly to see, while the story's resolution is surprisingly downbeat, something that wasn't usual for a Star Wars parody or knockoff. In the end, The Tramps and the Planet Wars is a pretty disappointing film, but certainly not the atrocious turkey that many Western critics take it for. This is purely because the movie's humor is squarely aimed at child audiences, and also is very much a product of its time and place. I was actually laughing at some of the jokes. And of course you also have things like the Brazilian Chewbacca, a big guy. The scene where he's in the middle of that Jawa fight, he's sitting on a whole bunch of Jawas smoking his cigarettes. Oh, that was funny. Anyway, I wouldn't mind watching this again if need be. It's actually pretty funny. Although the film would undoubtedly benefit from some tidy pacing and better effects. There's no gore and nudity in this film. It's pretty much a kid's film. I've never even heard of any DVD release of this film, let alone VHS. Well, I've never seen any VHS or DVD release of this film so far, which is interesting. If you want to catch it, there are prints of this online, but it's kind of tricky where to find them. Anyway, hope you guys are staying safe. Take it easy, and that's it for this review. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention this. I give the Tramps of the Planet Wars a D+, a 3 out of 10. It's disappointingly mediocre. Stay safe, guys.